Well, there's a lot of different ways to destroy a deer sanctuary, and I hope you're not thinking you're doing a good job when you're actually not. This is a deer bedding area, one of our most sacred areas. In fact, we had a stand down here on the end. We hunted a couple times. Dante ended up missing a buck back here, but very difficult to get into. So the more we've developed the land, the more we put deer cuttings in. We have bedding areas over here, here. We had switchgrass up on top, hinge cuts off to the side, all the way down here. We just stay out of here. We have a camera right up in the corner up there, and we have a big one that's living out here right now. Or in fact, we're not sure which one he was. We had a big 9-point from 2 years ago. We're not sure if it's him. We had an 8-point last year. We're not sure if it's him. We're just not sure which buck it is, but he's big, and he's got a bent tine on his right G3. He's a really cool looking buck, very, very wide frame. He's been back here a few times. We've seen him here and there. We need to do work back here. By work, meaning we've already created a bunch of hinge cuts. You can see all the growth we had from our hinge cuts last year. So you have a lot of low brush, hardwood regen, briars, all kinds of good stuff growing in here for browse, goldenrod, ragweed, and it's all growing within this switchgrass right here. So what happens with this switchgrass is switchgrass outcompetes everything once it's established, and it can do it for a decade or more. The problem is when weeds start to encroach, what it does is it limits growth. And let me see if I can find one of the switchgrass blades back here. Well, you can even see in this one where we're starting to get back into the thick of things, and we have a lot of green growth coming in here in goldenrod. You can see the diminished growth compared to one out here that's getting more full sun. So about a foot of growth difference right there. Here's one that's pretty suppressed right here. You can see when you start getting, again, this should all be the same height, but a pretty drastic difference from out here where it's getting full sun. So what we need to come back in here and do is I'll hit this with 1.5 pints per acre of 2,4-D, and it'll be a quick spraying. I don't want to double up that spray, because to get 3 pints per acre on some of this would be a really bad thing. So it's almost kind of difficult because of how narrow this is. I have to have those booms extend out, and you can see that's probably why we only have switch going from here to here, because that's about our boom width through here. I don't want to double up. So what ends up happening is when I go into a wider area, I have to go through real fast, turn around, go through real fast again, double up, do it, and try to do your best. But if you double up that spray, you can injure the switch. It'll actually get black spots on it. So all that being said, we need to take care of this. I want solid switch through here. Then the deer actually have some thermal protection up on top of this point. We call it cedar point. They can bed on either side to get out of the wind. This offers a windbreak, thermal protection. We have the hinge cuts up here for food and further side screening and side cover. So it's a really critical spot. We do all that work out here. That big buck that's out here right now, he was just coming in yesterday morning. If he's out here, we just spooked him. He's probably not gonna be back for 2 or 3 weeks or more, but it's early July. Who cares? We use our property from the day after the season. One of our favorite scrapes are the mock scrapes that we made last year in early January by a spot. We now have a water hole, a tree stand set, roads in and out, our Green Max traffic planted all around the water. It's beautiful. We had Junior, one of our mature bucks, hit that mock scrape just mid-January, 2 weeks after we put that up. So really quick. And we're in here at a time where we're not gonna spook deer. It doesn't matter if it's early January, early July, early August. There's plenty of weeks of forgiveness. Sorry for interrupting, we'll be right back, but it's getting close to fall planting season. We have some of our favorite blends, some newer blends, Big Boost 365. We have our Power Greens 365. Those have the perennial base. We're actually planting some of that here. Big Boost, Fall Power Greens, those are some of our favorites, our all-time sellers. We're actually taking this strip of clover right here. We're gonna make that a perennial back up there. We're gonna terminate this buckwheat. We'll plant into it in the coming weeks, and then we're gonna hunt right behind me. Mock scrape right there. We're all set up. I hope you are too. Check out Pure Wildlife Blends. Now back to the video. Some people rely on, you have that summer pattern of a buck, you either get them opening weekend, opening day, or not. You don't see them again because you don't have those conditions to make it a good fall property. I don't want a property that can hunt for 2 or 3 days and then it's done for the rest of the year. I want something that's actually heating up in the early season, peaking in October, November, December, and During the winter, if we have enough food and cover and they stick around, that's awesome. We can help the deer herd out too. But at the same time, I'm looking for deer hunting. I don't care if I spook a deer out here during the summertime. A lot of you do it in the reverse. When's the best time to actually spook out this bedding area? Imagine there's people out there, this is crazy, but there's people out there in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. They stay off the property. This is truly a sanctuary for the off season. They come back here and they put a stand right here. They think they can hide their scent. They don't care if it's downwind. They're using the latest and greatest gadget they can have up in the tree, or something they can spray on themselves, or an odor eliminating clothing. And say, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go and sit here from dark to dark. And you come in here one time, you leave your scent trail, which you always will, no matter what you do, especially when there's this much debris and garbage. They smell your scent, that mature buck, one time, and he won't be back for 3 or 4 weeks. That puts him into another time. Plus you're over hunting it every weekend. You're saying, well, I'm gonna lightly hunt the stand. I do it every 2 weeks. There's never enough time until after the season's done for that deer to feel comfortable back here. Instead, take the hunting pressure out of the hunt. Leave this area alone during the fall. Imagine this whole area is a sanctuary all off season, and you come in here and spook them one time and they really notice. This area is done. You cooked this area. It's not going to be used. And so think about when mature bucks actually need a sanctuary. They don't need it during the summer. No one's hunting them. They have cover everywhere. In fact, they don't want to be back by our hinge cuts or by our trees that we've cut down for bedding areas, or this thick switchgrass up here and the hinge cuts on either side. They want to be able to freely move through here. They want to not be able to bump their velvet on a bunch of this brush up here. They want to be able to sit out on a knob right on the end of here. There's actually a knob where you get good airflow. There's no bugs. It's cooler because it's shaded. But that's not where they want to be during the fall. They don't want to be out here exposed. They want to be back up in here. So never worry about coming back in here and doing the work that you need to during the summer months in anticipation of actually creating a sanctuary during the hunting season. So many people have that flipped. This is an awesome time to get in here. We'll get rid of any of the Queen Anne's lace that we have, and daisies and whatever, goldenrod, briars, whatever we have in here, we're gonna smoke them out. And this will be pure switchgrass. Then the switchgrass, instead of growing really tall and skinny, actually when it's competed with, the stem diameter shrinks, the overall volume decreases, and we want this to not be this jungle mess. We're not expecting deer to bed in this and feed in it. They have food all around them. We don't care about the summer forage right here. There's summer food everywhere around here. They need that high stem count, hardwood regen, shrub regen, briars, some of the acorns that are back here. That's what they need during the fall, and then they need solid fall cover that is unpressured, and that's what actually makes this a sanctuary. Staying out of here in the off season doesn't make this a sanctuary, especially when you go over pressure it just 1 or 2 times during the fall. Instead, flip that. Use it during the off season, improve it, get to know your habitat a little bit better, where deer are actually bedding during the fall, and then hunt this area as if you're not hunting. Don't let the deer know they're being pressured. Hunt on the outside of this. We know if there's a buck in here, we're going to shoot him on any number of stands around here as he's coming out. That'll be based on what food he's going to, where his sign's at, where his rubs are at, where his tracks are at, where we get pictures of him, where we see him. We'll know where he's at. And then if we just gently chip away at those stands around this area where he's holding out during the core area during the fall, and we don't destroy this during the fall like a lot of people do, then we're going to shoot that buck 80% of the time during the year. It doesn't matter what age he is, we're going to get him because he's in here. We know he's in here. We have 6 or 7 stands in this area within 200 or 300 yards of this spot where we can shoot him on. We'll hunt those with the right wind. And boy, by the 4th, 5th, 6th sit around this area, preserving this core area, we got them. And that's what usually takes place. 80% of the times you shoot those target bucks. Done that for decades, and that's how you do it. Actually creating a true sanctuary during the hunting season. Forget about the off season. Work out here, do whatever you want. Improve yourself as a deer hunter, deer habitat manager. Get to know your habitat in the off season, and make the deer think that they're not being hunted during the hunting season in a core area like this. When you are hunting them around the outside, and you'll shoot that buck the majority of the time. That's what I want to see for you, is you guys to have successful deer hunting seasons. And it all starts during the summertime, knowing when and when not to pressure a bedding area. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you watching the videos. We have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com. It's all free. And I also appreciate those of you that check out our books. I have 5 books starting from 2012. We have web classes on the site, whitetailhabitatsolutions.com. Check out Pure Wildlife Blends. I really appreciate you guys that have already purchased our seed. We've had thousands of people. We've shipped to 48 states. We have digital land management through whitetailstrategy.com. That's taking all these ideas and concepts I put in the YouTube videos and digitally transforming your land for you. And then finally, we have our clients and client visits. We'll visit over 300 clients as a group this year. We visit anywhere in the country. Boots on the ground is always the best, but we have a lot of ways to help you, from free to client visits and all in between. Check us out again, whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, Pure Wildlife Blends, and whitetailstrategy.com.